So please check our website, parkcityshows.com, to see our full list through next fall. We do recycle. Please help keep this beautiful theater clean. There is no intermission for this show. We will have our bar open throughout the movie. There's no phones, no video, no photography. At the end of the performance, we'll have this side door open for you guys to exit as well as the back ones. And without further ado, I'd love to welcome Mr. Bruce Campbell.
Woo! Brucey! Woo! Bruce! Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for the master of disaster and the chainsaw champion of Royal Oak, Michigan, Bruce Campbell!
Can we have less on me and more on the crowd? But not too much on the crowd. Hello, Park City, Utah.
Woo! Hello, Bruce!
Beautiful state. Very interesting state.
You know it.
I got my Constitution in my back pocket, so it's okay.
You're gonna need it.
Packing heat. I'm blading new roads in the wilderness. Don't you worry about a thing. Yeah. I did a movie here in the state in Moab, Utah, 1988, called Sundown, a Vampire in Retreat.
Yep.
Moab was great in 1988. They didn't really have shit there. It was an ATM there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They had all these roads left over from uranium mining. So I took a car, had a bicycle in the back, drove it as far as I could go back there, but I probably shouldn't drive any further. Took the bike out, rode that as far as I could ride it, just ditched it, because who the fuck is back there? Nobody. You don't even want to meet the people that are back there anyway.
Oh, those hills have eyes, buddy.
I went hiking in the Escalante area. Yeah, it's cool, really cool, and fucking weird. It's just weird. My wife and I get in, we're about 10 days in. We had sort of planned this whole route, fucking pain in the ass back there, it really is. We kept referring to our future food as it's their food. They won't mind if we eat some of Thursday's food on Wednesday. We were dying out there in the backcountry. We got well into this, and we got down to the Escalante River, so it's sort of in the river, out of the river, up your chest, up your knees. Not fun at all. Wow, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And we hear a lute playing.
Found the commune.
I went, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. I come around a corner. There's a whole group of naked men covered in mud. God damn it. Sorry, we're in Utah. Gosh, golly. I thought this is where it ends. This is how it ends. Naked freaks in the Utah backcountry disembowel me and my wife for pagan ceremonies. That's right. Yeah, made it all the way to Utah to get off in the backcountry. No, it turns out they were like anthropology students who were just on a long camping trip and were going a little crazy. Yeah, the Utah backcountry. It's
Something else.
It is something else. It's really impressive, really cool, and a little scary. Not because of the wildlife. But that's okay. That's okay. I come from Oregon. We had Al Qaeda training camps in Eastern Oregon. We take over wildlife refuges in Oregon. My favorite thing when these guys took over the wildlife refuge, these disgruntled ranchers, they were sent supplies from all over the United States. Diapers and for their families and the kids and toys and food. And somebody sent them an entire box of 1,000 pink dildos. I just want to be those guys opening. Oh, look at this. There, someone who loves America finally sent us a big box of goddamn, whoa! That's really genius, if you think about it. It's fun. So yeah, every state, the western states, they're all a little crazy. I did a thing in Las Vegas, and I thought, I'll drive through the Black Rock Desert of Burning Man back to the back way of my house in Oregon. Won't that be great?
No.
Like, Nevada's crazier than all of them combined. Well, Nevada's weird because you're driving along and the road is 50 feet wide and bladed really well. I'm like, why do you need this back here? Because of all the enormous mining vehicles that are taking shit out of there all day long. That's why. But it's one of these, Nevada's another one of these, if you don't have a gun, get out kind of states. Like, you'll get arrested if you don't have a gun kind of. So I'm driving along and I took a cut through, and the BLM sign, the Bureau of Land Management sign, I'd like to clarify that now. They're very popular in the West, very popular. I saw a sign in a cafe in a Nevada ranch said, "Would God give it, the BLM taketh away." Yeah, so popular. So popular. I said to the grizzled old rancher, I went, they're just as popular in Nevada as they are in Oregon. They're just bureaucrats. So anyway, so I took a cut through. The BLM sign was so old and not maintained, I didn't know if my cutoff was like 50 miles or 5 miles. Couldn't really read it because there was 1,000 rounds of buckshot in the sign. Because that's what you do in the backcountry. Yeah. Yeah, who's gonna hear this, huh? And I'm driving along, and I see, I guess it's a person, way up ahead. And someone's walking in the Nevada backcountry. Cool. So I get a little closer, it's a guy with black leather pants on, no shirt, a sidearm, like Dirty Harry sidearm. And he's just walking in the desert. So that's when you go, is he showing signs of distress? He didn't even look at the car, didn't even look at my car. So as a courtesy, a country courtesy, backcountry courtesy, slow down so you don't engulf the guy in dust. So I thought, am I stopping? No. No, I'm not stopping. I'm gonna roll the passenger side window down about a little bit. He can holler if he needs anything. I'm gonna slow down, get way to the other side. And so we kind of just looked at each other and just went. And it's like, just kept going, like, what is he doing? What was that man fucking doing? What are you doing?
Joe, where did he come from? Where did he go?
Shoot some varmints, because I can. No shirt, because I can. He's doing everything because he can. He's freedom man. Here we are. please continue to support this theater. It's 95 years old now.
Woo!
A lot of stories have been told on these screens. They will tear it down if you don't support it. That's what developers love to do. Give me a reason. Give me a reason to not tear that thing down. It's their favorite thing, tearing down old movie theaters. There's a theater in Detroit called the Michigan. It was in downtown Detroit. Held 4,000 seats.
Wow.
They gutted it in the 70s and put a parking lot on the inside of it. My
No.
wife and I heard this. I was like, is that urban myth? So we looked it up, Michigan Theater, and it's now an office building, and there's a parking structure. We went into the main entrance there and said, hey, is it true if you go to the top floor of the parking structure, you can look up and see the ceiling, the painted, elaborate ceiling of the theater? The guy goes, yeah, so?
Oh.
When can we go up and look? He goes, yeah. Yeah, but don't take too long, like I might hurt it. And he got out there, sure enough, this beautiful, ornate, painted like the sky, with little light fixtures because it would twinkle like the stars after the lights went out. And at one end you could see where they hacked the proscenium of the theater, just hacked it off. And on the other side where the projection was, just sort of hacked it off. And that's what they do to old theaters. So don't let them do that to this fabulous theater. Yeah. So you're going to see a movie tonight that it's not 40 years old. It's older than 40 years old. It's 40 years old when it was released in 1981. Yeah, it was filmed in 1979. Let's get our timeline straight, because it took 2 years to finish the damn thing. That gosh darn film. We drank a lot of sarsaparilla finishing it. So it's a story of 5 unwitting, alleged teenage types who go to a cabin in the woods and have a ball. They find some artifacts in the basement, which they should not touch. And so, of course, they do. And they break all the rules and pay horribly for it. Before this movie, myself and Sam Raimi, we met in junior high school, actually.
Wow.
Sam was dressed as Sherlock Holmes in 8th grade, in the middle of the hallway playing with dolls. And I specifically, to this day, remember going, okay, let's give that guy a wide berth. And later he claimed, oh, I was making a movie. There were no cameras anywhere. No. So, met Sam in radio speech because I dropped typing. Because I don't understand why anyone would ever take typing. Yeah, I got in there, and there's 30 people in there who already knew how to type. I'm like, why are you here if you already know how to type? And why am I even in this class? I did not want this class. So I went to a counselor. I said, can I drop this class? He went, well, yeah, of course. What do you want to take? I went, what do you got that's creative? So she ran down the list, got to radio speech. You could do the morning announcements and things like that. I went, all right, I'm in. Sam Raimi was in that class, and so that's how we met. And I found out that on weekends he would do little amateur movies with his equipment, and I had some equipment, did stuff on weekends. We met a couple of other schmoes like that, and started making a lot of amateur movies in high school. That's how we stayed mostly out of trouble. We would go to a party to film the party, not to be in the party. So saved a lot of trouble. But they were mostly sappy comedies. But when this one came along, we thought, okay, we're gonna make a feature film. We're gonna get real money from real people out of their pockets. We don't want to lose their money. So we thought, what can you do cheap? You don't have to have any name actors. Horror, you can get away with it. They can wear normal clothes, normal cars, normal locations. If we made a comedy, we would need like at the time Steve Martin or John Candy. We're not gonna get those guys. They're not gonna come to Detroit to be in some stupid movie. So we decided to go horror. And we thought, well, if we're gonna go there, let's go there. And make a movie that will not be this, it won't blend in with the rest of the movies. And so I think we've managed to achieve that with this movie. It has no rating. Has anyone not seen this movie? Well, Dolly, you're going to have a blast tonight. Okay, there was someone here who raised their hand, man, right here. What have you been told? You've been told nothing about this movie? Do you like horror movies? You do. Then why the hell haven't you seen this movie? I call a little BS. That's cool. So no one told you anything. They were like, hey, let's just go to Park City and watch a flick. Come on. You had to have discussed what you were seeing, right? I know you're seeing this movie, Evil Dead, right? Man, we're getting like fucking nowhere. I mean, that's okay. All right, well, someone who might actually speak in response, what have you been briefed who has not seen the movie? You have seen the movie. The wrong movie at that, but thank you. That's Sunday night. Back here.
I've been briefed about it. This guy said I want to go to Park City and watch a movie.
And so you know it's a horror movie though, right?
The only thing I know this is in the trilogy, not this movie. I just know the boomstick line from Cody Campbell.
Okay.
What?
Yes, she has to say something. Yes, please. Yes.
Of course, I was told that it is a film of horror and then someone gets raped by a tree.
It's horror and someone gets raped by a tree. Yeah. Yes. And then she says,
That's
and they
pretty
told you,
much.
don't worry, you're gonna love it. Oh yeah. What's not to love? What's not to love?
Love it. Thank you.
A woman does. She is attacked by vines in this movie. No point spoiling it. I mean, I'm not going to hide any spoiler. It's not real pleasant. Those of you in the Midwest would understand this. She did contract Dutch elm disease. Unscathed. Obviously, for those of you who have not seen this movie, some of your questions will be answered by seeing the movie. And you may generate new questions after seeing it. Like, why did I come to this movie? Those of you who have not seen the movie, I want to leave this in your head. Stephen King called this movie the most ferociously original horror film of the year. So when you're watching this movie going, this is kind of low budget and a little cheeseball, you're wrong. This is a classic. This is an undisputed classic. Let's not get too wrapped up in that. Yeah. So I'm going to come back afterward and we'll have a further discussion. Does anybody have any questions before the movie? Anything that they need to know before you see this? No, clearly no. Yes. What did we spend on the movie? About $375,000. Yeah. In $1979. That was still a pain in the ass to get our hands on. $1979.
Was it a college?
Oh, but crap.
Was it a college production?
Yeah.
N.O.
Okay.
No, and thank God because it made money. So lawyers were involved, contracts were signed, no lawsuits have taken place for 40 years because we worked that shit out. Thank God, because that's what people think. Oh, it's a college thing you did in college. We'd be sued out the ass if this was a college thing. Yes.
What year did you make In the Woods or Into the
What
Woods?
we did is we did a Super 8 test film called Within the Woods.
Within the Woods.
Yeah, we made it the same year, in the spring of 1979. And we showed that to investors. Like, hey, if you like this, it'll be better, and we'll spend more money. So we showed it to people. We got money from a guy who did not watch it. He refused to watch it. He met Sam Raimi at the Kmart camera department. Sam was walking up with a stack of film to process. They came in these little cartridges. And he had like 20 of them. Nobody has 20 of these things. And this guy, this businessman, was there like with one little roll. He looks at Sam and goes, "What the hell's all that?" He goes, "I'm making a movie." He goes, "You're making a movie? No one makes movies in Detroit." He goes, "I am." He goes, Oh, really? Really? So that's what he goes, "Yeah, I'm going to be a filmmaker. Yeah, I'm a director." So the guy gave Sam his card. And he goes, "If you ever do this officially, give me a call." So we finally got this all organized, ready to go. Called the guy. "Okay, come and show it to my business associates. I can't watch horror of any kind. Show it to them in the boardroom." So we did. We showed it to a bunch of stiffs in this boardroom. And the guy invested. And he has no idea what he invested in. None. So it kind of worked that way. Another guy gave us money because he decided not to go to Las Vegas that year. So I usually take $5,000, blow in Vegas every year. Here's my Vegas money. He made 40 times his money. You ain't gonna make that in Vegas. So I will be back. Enjoy the motion picture. Those of you who have not seen it, good luck and Godspeed.
Brucey!